Hey guys, Traveling Troy here. Well, not officially traveling yet, but we'll get there soon. This past week, I went to my dad's place up in North Austin, and we kind of discussed a plan for the van. He's going to help me. He's going to help me do the whole thing, the whole interior build, and some other mechanical things and stuff like that. But I appreciate his help. But this past week, when I got there, we kind of discussed a plan, what we're going to do with the van, and so both kind of bounced ideas off each other. We actually sat in this van for about 2 hours just discussing strategies and what we're going to do with it. But today what I want to talk about is the prep work we did, the final prep work we did before we started phase one of the build. And also, what the heck is this thing? And that. What's in there? We'll get to all this in a few minutes. But first, let's break the chains. That's for you, Mary.
This video is showing the prep work that was necessary to do before we started doing the actual build. For instance, this is where the sliding door, on the outside is the sliding door, and these bolts were coming too far, were coming through the walls too far. So we needed to use a Dremel to cut the end of these bolts off all the way up to the nut, so they wouldn't get in the way of insulation or the paneling that will come later. This is a look at the outside of the security tube. We need to get rid of this in order to do the insulation and paneling on the inside. This is my dad using a Dremel tool to cut away at the bolts on the inside. This is what it looked like after he cut everything away, right before we pushed it out. And here's a look at the rubber seal on the outside. We just pushed the tube out, and that's what it looks like on the outside. And here's the actual tube. We just pulled it out, and as you can see, there's the tube, there's the lock, and basically keys are stored inside there. This is a Reflectix-like tape that we're using to temporarily seal up the inside. And then on the outside, we went ahead and used duct tape. Eventually we're going to, there's a pretty big hole in the outside, so eventually we're going to do some Bondo work and close that off. Now if you recall from a previous video, I showed that there, right, like as you can see here, there's 6 antennas on the roof. And each one of those antennas has cabling running down inside the van. It was a complete mess. We had to figure out, here's some of the mess after we pulled out a lot of it. We had to figure out what everything goes to and remove what wasn't part of the actual van. We actually found this device inside the van, and it turned out that this device was recording the driver's driving habits. Pretty sneaky of the old phone company, I'd say. After removing the antennas, we had numerous holes. So on the inside of the van, we put this Reflectix type tape, and then on the outside of the van, we just put duct tape over the holes on the outside. We plan on doing some Bondo work on the outside and filling these holes up, and trying to get it to match up as best we can to the exterior of the van. So it'll work for now. More holes we needed to remove was from the ladder rack. After removal of the ladder rack, we're left with some holes that look like this, pretty nasty, with some silicone in there. So we had to clean that up so that we can do some repair work on it. And this is what it looked like after we cleaned it up. This is a different spot, but pretty much what it looked like. And this is what it looks like now after we cleaned it up and we put some silicone inside of it to seal it up, to seal up the holes. The roof is still duct taped because we plan on using these same holes for the next roof rack. You may remember my good friends the rivets from a previous video. Well, we decided to seal up all the holes from rivets with silicone, and this is looking under the van. This is where the silicone dripped through and sealed up under the van. I'm going to touch it here just to show you that it's sealing, it's curing just fine. When I arrived at my dad's place, I had mentioned that the bumper was rattling, so we decided to get in here and take a look. It was missing one bolt on one side, and then on the other side it was, some of the bolts were loose, so we just tightened up some bolts and The bumper no longer rattled. One noise gone. Another noise we found was this spare tire under the van. It wasn't cranked all the way up into a locked position, so it was rubbing, the tire was rubbing against the metal, making a squeaking noise. So we tightened it up and eliminated another noise. Funny story, that tire was completely flat. It was as hard as a rock, but completely flat. I want to thank my mother-in-law Nancy. She was hard at work with sticker removal. I helped a little bit, but she took care of most of it, like that SH3. And there's a little tire, there's a little sticker above the tire there on the fender. And then there were about 4 or 5 stickers on the back of the van here. You can see the one at the bottom left, the yellow one. And then that's what it looked like after the removal. We had that one, the SH3, and then there's a little black sticker that's right here on the fender. That's gone. That was a tough one to get rid of. And then here's what it looks like now without the stickers. That circle was, paint got removed. That was before I even bought it. There was a circle sticker there, and when they removed it, they removed the paint. But everything else looks like it's gone. Well, thanks for watching my video. Click the subscribe button there to subscribe to my channel. Go check out my website there. If you want daily updates, go check out my Facebook page and like it. You'll get plenty of updates that way. Or if you want to watch the entire pre-built playlist, click the big old box right there in the center of the screen. And thanks a lot. Please leave some comments and like the video. Thank you.